All American Prepper coming at you from the bunker. Just give me 1 second. I see I need to clean my lens. Oh. Give people time to get on here. I apologize about that. I always do these things on the fly. That's a little better. Well, I'm sitting here waiting on the storm. Can't sleep. Just thought I'd talk about a few things. I'm ready. I'm ready for the storm. But this is a prime example of why you need to prep. It's cause this hurricane. This is just a hurricane. Yosemite could go off. We could have some crazy ass earthquake out in the Gulf that would have sent a typhoon. You just don't know when something's going to happen. A nuke could go off somewhere in the world, and you need protection from the fallout. Get you some potassium iodine pills. But I just can't sleep, so I thought I'd do a late night live. I'm not even sure how good this is coming in, my internet with the storm and all. But I'm just sitting here alone. Little Miss Prepper, she's sleeping. But this here hurricane is a prime example. Like, I've heard people tell me, there's no water at the store. And I'm like, you should already have some water put back. What if the grid went down yesterday? You don't have no water. You don't have a water filtration system. You don't have some canned food put back. You don't got you some firewood out there piled up. If this hurricane gets real good, takes out the power, how you gonna cook? Okay, so all right, good. You got a generator. All right. Well, what happens if this thing really wreaks some havoc? Hey, son of the desert, good to have you here, my man. Talk about this hurricane down here. Doing all right, really. I've been ready for this storm for a long time. I'm surprised at how many people's crying that they couldn't get no water at the store. And I'm like, you should have had water, man. You should at least have your water filtration system. Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm in the bunker. This thing ain't going nowhere. And I always got water. I always got some food. And there's a lot of game around here, so I can go hunting anytime I want and get food. And when the grid goes down and all the large game's took out, you need a pellet gun to get that small game. Just sit still, any bird lands in your yard, and I'm not going nowhere with all this concrete, man, around me at all. I see all these people fleeing, running from this hurricane, and I'm like, I bet you wish you had a bunker, huh? My friends, you live in a bunker? Yeah. And then they're calling me, hey man, can I come stay in your bunker during the hurricane? If not, I'm gonna leave Florida. And I'm like, bye. I'm staying my ass right here. While you gone, people gonna be robbing your house, Because that's what happens down here during a hurricane. You know, that's a misconception. I've been all over the world, and a bunker does not have to be below ground. A bunker is something that can take on a lot of incoming. So I'm above ground, but it's still a bunker. You know, when I was over Iraq, Afghanistan, we come across a lot of above ground bunkers that they held up. We literally had to call in a bunker buster to blow them things up, because nothing we had 50 cals, we had grenade launchers, and we couldn't put a dent in it. And it was an above ground bunker. Hey, LG, good to have you. Good to have you. Just sitting here riding out the storm. You know, my friends, aggravating me, wanting to come get in my bunker. And the same ones that were making fun of me for having a bunker, now they want to come to my bunker. I'm like, man, I ain't got room in here for you. You should have built your own bunker when I told you to. But no, you made fun of me for having a bunker. Now you want to come in my bunker? So while all these people done fled the state and all jammed up on the highways, things are so bad down here that most of them are going to come back to their houses being robbed. Yeah, hell yeah, I warned them. For this is just a hurricane, but it could be much worse. There could be bombs dropping. Given the world's current situation, there's no telling what in the hell is going to happen next. But a bunker's good for a hurricane. This thing ain't going nowhere. I guarantee you this place ain't going nowhere. So I'm good. But yeah, I was just, sitting here and thought I'd do a late night live. I like doing a random live. That way I can, little Miss Prepper, she's asleep. That way I can keep up with the chat. When I got a whole lot of people in there, I can't keep up with the chat. But yeah, I did warn them. I warned them. You better get your ass a bunker. That's why I have some gasoline canisters stored up. I can fill up my car, drive out if I need to get gas further out where there still is some. Yep, absolutely. I always keep my bike topped off. Little Miss Prepper always keeps her car topped off. And if you go down my video list, over a year ago, I told everybody they need to get 55-gallon drums and fill them up with gas and store them in a safe place. And they have stuff in there that you can put in that gas to keep from it going bad. Or you can go to the airport and buy gas that does not have ethanol in it, so it won't go bad. Not as quick as that stuff with ethanol in it. I mean, I don't run ethanol gas in my bike unless I'm out and I got to get gas. Other than that, I go to the airport. Yeah, not so easy in the middle of the desert. You're right. But they have this stuff in there that will preserve that gas with that ethanol in there. Sure, I pay a little bit more for the gas at the airport, but that sells volumes right there. Why don't they burn ethanol in aviation? Because it causes problems. Yeah, that ethanol is bad for your car or any motor. That ethanol is bad for it. And what they're not telling you It's 15% ethanol. Here we got this food shortage going on, and it's going to get worse. And they literally use corn to make ethanol. And now the gas you're buying at the pump, they haven't changed the stickers, but it's 15% ethanol in there, not 10. So just another way for them to use up our food. When we got all this oil in the ground that they're not giving them permits to pump. Yeah, it's 15% now. We got all this oil in the ground. They're not giving them permits to pump. And they're using up all our strategic reserve to lower the gas price. Yeah, that ethanol tears your motors up. It is so bad for an engine. It really is. But they don't care. They don't care about us. We're on our own. I hope you've all figured out that this government does not care about us. If they cared about us, why would they hire all these new tax people to put the pinch on us? And then send all our taxpayer money, or a lot of it, to another country when we got America's hurting. Yeah, now even 1% ethanol is not good for your motor. Not even 1%. It's not good. Now, the more ethanol, the worse it is on the motor. The worse it is on the motor. But ethanol in general is not good to burn in your motor. I don't burn none in my Harley, like I said, unless I'm off somewhere and I have to get gas. Other than that, I go by the airport and fill my bike up. And I notice with that non-ethanol gas, I get better gas mileage. That ethanol isn't so good on the gas mileage. I'm completely against it. I'm completely against using food for fuel when people are starving to death. That's ridiculous. Especially when we could be pumping it out of the ground. It is what it is, but it's just all these weird fires, I just think it's more than a coincidence that our food production is getting attacked on so many fronts. Like they had this human waste that they turned into fertilizer, and they gave it to these farmers saying, yeah, use this, it's great. Now it's called salting the land. The Romans used to do it to ruin the land. Now they're saying, oh, no, we done figured out that stuff's bad. You can never grow a crop on that land again. You really need to become self-sufficient. You need to grow your own food. That way you know where it comes from and what it's like. You can use Dawn dish detergent if you got bugs instead of pesticides. I don't use anything. If I'm growing a crop and the bugs eat it alive, I don't grow that particular plant no more. I try to find bug-resistant plants to grow. Sure, I get bugs on my tomatoes and such, but they don't eat them all up. And I have like corn, I grow it, and man, down here in the South, the bugs have a day with that. So I don't even try to grow it. Now, every once in a while, if you grow the corn that's meant to feed animals, the bugs don't mess with it as much. And it tastes like corn to me. I've eaten it. Maybe I'm just hardcore redneck. I don't know, but food's food, and that corn that they grow for animals seems more bug resistant than this, I guess, fancy corn you grow. I always get worms in that. I don't seem to have that problem when I discovered that accidentally. I was throwing out corn to feed the deer, and some growed up and made it all the way up and growed corn. And I was like, I picked it and cooked it and ate it, and it was great. So that's a cheap way of getting corn seeds. Is just go down and buy you some to the feed store and buy you a bag of corn, a 50-pound bag of corn, and plant it. It's more bug resistant. Ain't never hurt me none. And it grows great, really. I'm not sure why the bugs don't mess with it as much. I just think it's just a more primitive breed of corn. But yeah, it's raining real good here. And the wind's kicking up. I'm snug as a bug in here. But, and you could be right, up to 10% may be okay. I'm not burning none of that ethanol in my Harley unless I have to. Because, I'm having it rough right now. I'm not working at the club. Little Miss Prepper, she's tired of sewing me up. The girls are not making any money, so they can't really tip me. And that's really how I made my money working there, is by tips. The economy's really hard down here. The rent is, what was normally a $400 a month apartment 2 years ago is minimum $1,200 a month now. But yet nobody's pay has really gone up that much. I know people that are working 2 jobs and still living in the campground because they can't afford to pay rent. That's how bad it is. My mom, she went down and bought some chicken. She says normally this chicken was $11 a pack. Now it's $22 a pack. Yeah. I mean, the price of everything is ridiculous. Yeah, everything, man, everything here in Florida has gone through the roof. Now, the DMV, they put some sort of statement out. It's like a lot of people that their driver's license were registered in New York is now registered for Florida. A lot. It seems like everybody's moving to Florida and Texas for some reason. I wonder why that is. You figure it out. But I know why. But everybody's leaving them blue states is what it is. But what's happening down here right now, I'm telling you, the criminals are having a heyday. Because all these people that are leaving their houses and running from this hurricane, a lot of them houses are going to get broken into. They're going to come home to nothing. And these thieves down here, they even steal your furniture, man. They even steal the food out of your freezer. I mean, they don't leave nothing. I mean, they're ruthless. They don't just take your jewelry. They take everything. They literally pull up there with trucks and take everything. And it's mainly because of the methamphetamines. We got a bad methamphetamine problem down here. Maybe you've not heard about how bad it is. And heroin's back on the rise. So, and there's a lot of people that normally would not. But I guess they're having to get by selling drugs. I know people that I would never sell drugs. And now they're selling drugs. I think a lot of baby boomers them down Florida from, yeah, you're right, LG. I think a lot of the baby boomers moved down to Florida from the north. Yeah, a lot of them did. Everybody's moving to Florida, man. You know, I'm going to make a video because of if it keeps if people keep stacking in here like this, because I do live in a real good wooded rural area, but if it keeps going the way it's going, I'm going to make a video and put it out there and ask everybody, where is in America, because I'm all American. I'm not leaving America to live. The deepest woods far away from people as I can get. Because if people keep moving down here at this rate, I am going to move to the deepest, far away from anybody woods I can find in America. I hate to do that because I got such a good mag team here. And a lot of my mag team told me, hey, because a lot of them were military and, you know, they get their pensions and all. So they can just pack up and go, and they're going to stick with me. You know, they're part of the bike club. Yeah, I get that from a lot of people that's in the desert, that the humidity is just brutal. But I've lived here my whole life, so I'm just used to it. You know, it doesn't bother me. I mean, yeah, I sweat. It's hot as hell. But that's the one luxury I do have is an air conditioner. And I do have enough solar to run it. It's the smallest unit you can get. But I got this bunker so well concreted in and all that it's easy to keep it cool in here. Now, I don't have no refrigeration. I don't have nothing. I don't even have a TV. But, which I don't watch TV. Yeah, I'd rather sweat than freeze. You can jump in some water and cool off down here. We got ice cold springs everywhere. Not far from here is an ice cold spring. They're all over Florida, and they're really nice. And that water's really cold. But I mean, it's not ice where it's got ice on it, but it's cold. For me, anyhow, because I'm so used to the heat. But I do go to the springs every chance I get. It's only $2 to go to the spring, just like a half hour away from me. Man, I really don't know. Honestly, we need the fuel so bad. You know, we need anything we can to lower the prices. See, this is what's happening. The prices of everything is going up. There's shortages of everything. And at the same time, the dollar is devaluing. So we got both things working against us. Our dollar is worth less every day. So if you got money in the bank, you're losing money. And the price of everything's going up. It's going, this is just the beginning. It's really going to get bad. Like right now, if you're going down buying canned meat, you're saving money in the long run if you're going to end up eating it. You know, right now, if you buy groceries that won't go bad, for a couple years, you're saving money. Man, just imagine how much canned chicken is going to be 2 years from now. If you can even going to get it. If you can even get it. Imagine how much it's going to cost. If it's even available. It's getting bad. Like I said, I know people working 2 jobs and they can't even afford to pay rent. They're living at the campground. And a lot of these now they're staying in their car because a lot of the campgrounds have closed because of the hurricane. Yeah, an arm and a leg and then some, probably a kidney too, is what it's going to cost. And then, what's next? What kind of bird flu? What kind of chicken disease? What's next? I mean, it's always something. It's one thing after another, after another, after you got all these cows dropping dead. And whatever happened to the pox? That just went away. There's a lot of weird stuff going on. And they can't tell them, the it's still around. I just got over that shit. I know a lot of people down here that's got the even though somebody come on TV and said, oh, that's over. Yeah, the storm's here, man. The storm is starting. It's just starting to kick up right now. That's why I'm up, man, because, I wanted to, when the wind gets to going real good and all, I'm going to get out there in it and get some good video of it. I'm not afraid of no hurricane. I've lived down here my whole life, so it's nothing new to me. Now, one day we are going to get the big one, but I don't think this is the big one. And a lot of people, especially all the people that moved down here. Yeah, exactly like the name I gave Numbnut. Yeah. If there is any chickens and animals left because the processing plants keep getting destroyed and they are killing the animals, it will be very expensive. LG, you're right. They are attacking our food on every front. Even my dog food quality has gone down. I've noticed it. I mean, I'm like, man, I'm going to have to feed my dang dog canned chicken food because the regular dog food it just ain't no good no more. And I can't afford to feed that dog canned chicken food. I'm just going to have to start shooting birds and I'm going to have to hunt more because you can't feed a dog too much pork. It's bad for their pancreas. Or my dogs would just eat hog. But you can't do that. I've seen hog hunters feed their dogs a lot of hog and their dogs die from pancreas failure. So I don't know why pork causes that, but it does to dogs. But I may start feeding my yeah, T96. Yeah, you're right. You're right. I had to read that again. That's a good one. Yeah, y'all feel free to talk to each other and ask me questions. I love questions. Anything concerning prepping. Yeah, a lot of animal food brands are discontinuing some of their pet foods. Yes, they are. And, a lot of them are not putting expiration dates on the bags anymore, neither. So, Only God knows what they're putting in that stuff. I notice my dogs aren't eating this food up like they used to. I'm going to have to start hunting rabbit and other animals and such just to feed my dogs. Because I'm not feeding on my farm raised rabbits. No. But we got a lot of wild rabbit around here. Yeah, it's probably human meat, T96. It wouldn't surprise me. It really wouldn't. There's really, if aliens landed out there in the front yard, nothing would surprise me anymore. Not all this insanity going on, nothing would surprise me. Yeah, trespassers, you damn right. What are really good tents to purchase? Now, a Coleman tent's a good tent, but a Coleman camper, they're no good. I noticed that too with my Huskies. They're not liking the food anymore. Yeah, the dog food just ain't no good no more. Yeah, you know what? I've said that before, T96. That you want to find aliens, just look down there. I mean, hell, they were invited in. And they're turning all their criminals loose and bringing them to the border and saying, you get across there and you're good. You come back here, you're going back to prison. They're doing the same thing Castro did. Hell, they made a movie about it called Scarface. I'm sure almost everybody here has seen Scarface with Al Pacino or wherever. It's a damn good movie. But that was a Cuban crime wave that Castro turned loose and sent to us. Well, they're doing the same thing down south. Same thing. But that's where the aliens are. But I'm saying literally an alien spacecraft landed in my front yard right now. I wouldn't even be surprised. Yeah, tarps are great, but down here in Florida, you got to have a tent. These mosquitoes will eat you alive. I mean, the mosquitoes down here, tarp tents work great in a lot of places. And it's good to buy a tarp to put over your tent so you don't get flooded out. Dogs know something is off with the food because dogs usually eat all kinds of junk. You're right. Even their poop. If they don't like the food, then it's worse than their poop. Yeah, and there's something off with this dog food. I've been noticing I've been having to supplement it a little bit with other stuff. I'm on a budget, so, I see behind you with a poncho and some umbrella coming out the shit. Yeah! That's a good one, T96. That's a good one. Yeah, there wouldn't nothing surprise me right now. Really. Not nothing. I mean, it's getting bad. And I'm telling you, this is just the beginning. It's going to get a lot worse. If you can grow a garden, I cannot say that enough. You need to be self-sufficient. Eventually you will run out of your preps. So you need to garden, you need to forage. If you're in the desert, hunt snakes. I mean, I eat snakes. I got no problem with that. I'll eat almost anything. Yeah. USA and South Korea running drills because North Korea is acting up. It's like the line has been drawn in the sand. Everybody's choosing sides. And I really don't want to give my opinion on NATO because it's an unpopular opinion. I mean, I'm just not even going to say nothing about NATO because when I was in Bosnia, we saved a lot of lives. NATO come right behind us and blew everything up. So I never got along with the UN, the guys in the blue hats, the UN guys out on the battlefield. I never got along with those guys either. I had to show that comment T6. YouTube wanted to hide that. It said hide or show, so I showed it. Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely correct. If you're a religious person, I do believe that we are in Revelations. I mean, if you read the Bible, everything the Bible says is happening now. You know, I'm like a multi-religious person. Yeah, I agree with T96. Yeah, they all in it together. And, you know, in a war, because I've been in combat, the soldier that I was fighting, he thought he was in the right. So in war, both sides think they're in the right. The soldiers do, anyhow. So it is what it is. You know, I'm going to kind of keep some of my opinions to myself. You know, because every opinions vary. Let's just say I'm not happy with all our taxpayer money that they're sending over there to that other country. When there's so many Americans that are homeless that can't even pay their rent. You know, but some people disagree. But if you ask anybody that's having to live in their car or live at the campground, they may agree that they should be getting help. So it's just a matter of opinion and perspective. It's all according, you know, to how good you got it. These people, these people that live in these big, fancy, nice homes, when it gets worse than it already is, where do you think the crooks are going to go? Those people live in those big, nice homes in those lot-gated communities, which, hey, I wish I had that, honestly. I wish I could afford that. But they're going to be a target. They're going to have armed security because that's where the poor people are going to go to them uppity up neighborhoods to take when it gets bad. So if you live in a big, nice home, you really need to tighten down on your security. You really do. And if it gets real bad, just message me. I'll come guard your place. I'm looking for work. My wife, she just, like I said, the strip club just ain't paying right now. So I'm hurting financially bad. So I'm looking for work. If this tornado tears enough ass, you know, I'll be able to make a little bit of money clearing trees and stuff. I really want to go surfing after it goes by because that's the only time we get good waves down here. But I'm probably going to end up doing a lot of cleanup because I got to make some money, man. It is what it is. Everything costs so much. The economy sucks. There's a lot of people hurting. I'm one of them. I do what I can, and I do this YouTube to help people. And I make, and LG, thank you, by the way. Thank you, LG. I appreciate you. But, I make, the YouTube money is really $100 every other month that YouTube pays me. And I do a lot of research and a lot of work into this, but I don't do it for the money. I do it because I don't want to be the only one that survives this. I want other people to make it through. Yeah, T96, you're right. Everybody's struggling, but some people got yachts. Some people got life rafts, and some people's just holding on to a stick of wood. Really, I mean the classes are separating more and more. The middle class is getting hammered so hard, and people living in poverty. I don't get much money. That's why I have to work, and I still have a hard time. I got a lot of bills. I got to feed these dogs. I got a car payment, little Miss Pepper's car. I got to make them car payments. I got to pay the property tax on this property, which, man, they're killing me with the property tax, man. It's ridiculous because the property value has gone up so much down here. I can barely pay the property taxes on this property. That's how much it is. It's insane. It's really. Now I'm really getting pissed off about how much my property tax went up. Now, I'm not kidding. It went up thousands. In the last 2 years, it went up thousands. And I don't have a lot of property. I got barely just enough to be self-sufficient. And I guess, I could condense everything, but that's what they want you to do is sell off. I could maybe sell off a little, maybe an acre of my property and pay the taxes, but then what? Then what? What about next tax time? Yes, it is. A house right down a little ways. I was talking to the realtor and she was like, hey, it's a good deal. Now, granted, I live out in the middle of nowhere. I live in the woods, man. And the property lady that's selling the property down the road, I was just curious how much. And she said, hey, it's a good deal. It's just a little over $100,000 an acre. You know how much that made my property tax go up, man? A couple years ago, you could buy a piece of property out here for $20,000. Some even less. No, and now it's a good deal when it's a little bit over $100,000 an acre. And when that property sells for that, that's going to make my property tax go up even more. They're killing me with these taxes, man. And what are they doing with my money? What are they doing? They sending it over to other countries. They're giving it to illegals. They're not doing right with our taxpayer money. You know, I guess they're right. You will own nothing, but you won't be happy. But I think that's their end goal, is to make your property tax so expensive that you can't afford it. And then they own it. Yeah, LG, you're right. Wow, that's ridiculous. I don't know who is paying that or why they think it's that good of a deal. Yeah, keep sending them to Martha's Vineyard. You got that right. You got that right. But no, that's what down here in Florida, in the middle of the woods, it's $100,000 an acre, man. It's ridiculous. And so just imagine what my taxes are going to be, man. I'm having a hard time already paying my taxes. I hate to see how much they're going to want me to pay when that shit comes in. Yes, you can share the truth. You damn right you can. On this channel, we don't hold back. If you want to say it, you say it. I don't hide, and YouTube will try to hide somebody's comment, and I'll unhide it. And even if I disagree with you, I will still show the comment, because everybody has a different perspective on things. But I know with this $100,000 an acre going out here, I'm terrified to see how much they're going to want on property tax. I really am. You know, I mean, I'm literally picking up aluminum cans just to get by. Because by the time I put gas in because where I work at, I can't drive my motorcycle, because when I come out of club, it'll be stolen. So I have to drive little Miss Prepper's car. By the time I drive all the way to work and all the way back, I lost money. Yeah, life works differently for everybody. It does. It does. It sure does. Life works differently for everybody. But by the time I spend all that money in gas going back and forth to work, I really ain't making that much. And then I got to pay taxes. So see, I got to pay taxes on the money that I make. Yeah. I got to pay taxes on when I make the money. Then I got to pay taxes when I spend the money. Then I got to pay taxes on the property. I mean, that's 3 set of taxes, man. On the same dollar. It's ridiculous. I tax when I get paid, tax when I spend it, and tax just because I own property. So, yeah. So LG, like I said, I appreciate that donation. That helped out a lot. It really did. Nothing is too small. Anything helps. Because like I said, I'm picking up cans, and you'd be surprised, like I said, coming out of the store, how much change I find laying on the ground. I always keep looking down, and I bend over and pick that penny up. But, I'm doing what I can. I'm mowing. But a lot of my mowing started out mowing this disabled veterans. He's just too old. He can't mow his yard. And it's a big yard. And I push mow it. Well, now his neighbor's got me mowing his yard, and he's paying me. So that helps. It at least covers the gas and all to pay to one guy's yard. And I do make a little extra. So it helps. You know, I'm just a bouncer. I used to be a security contractor. All over the world, Iraq, Afghanistan, Bosnia, I've been all over the place. And I made good money doing it. Exactly. Or got a soldier living in a bunker because that's all he can afford. And I built this bunker myself. What I did is I went down here to buy here, pay here shed place. I bought the shed. I tied it down real good. And then I literally concreted and I turned it into a bunker. I don't have no running water in here. I literally sitting on my toilet, it's a bucket. I truly live off grid. Yeah, that's why we need to work together and educate ourselves. You're right. So, I mean, I may have to go back to the club, but like I said, by the time gas and all, because I live so far away from the clubs, and not to mention how violent people are getting, it's just ridiculous. But I may end up having to just go back there and get cut up and shot up. And it used to not be so hard being a bouncer, but it's getting rough. And they really don't pay as good as you think. Like I said, I made my real money in tips. Yeah, side hustles is where it's at now. Think of any way possible to make money. That's why, this storm, if it tears ass, I'm going to walk up and say, hey, you need me to cut them limbs out of your yard? You need me to do this? That's exactly what I plan on doing as soon as this storm passes. It's starting to kick up. I can hear it out there a little bit. But it ain't even really got started real good yet. But it's starting to kick up. But I'm telling you, this place ain't going nowhere. I might start off with just one of them buy here, pay here sheds, but all the concrete and metal, and this place ain't going nowhere. Yeah. Shopman garden. Yeah. It's dangerous work. It's dangerous to work security in the first place. Always has been. But people are coming so unhinged so quickly. Yeah, that's exactly what I plan on doing, son of the desert. Grabbing my chainsaw and cleaning out people's mess after the storm. That's exactly what I plan on doing. First thing I'm going to do is clear this road, so if someone on this road has a medical emergency, they can get in and out of here. But after I clear our road, then I'm going to go and with a chainsaw and work. But that's only going to last for so long, because there's going to be a lot of people doing it. I mean, I know I've talked to my buddies, and they're all like, man, I got my chainsaw ready. I got my gas can ready. I'm going to make me some money after this storm. So I ain't going to be the only one doing it. Hell yeah, I'm going to use LG. Yes, I'm going to keep every bit of the wood that I can bring home. Yeah, there's no safe place anymore. Julia Evans, hello. Good to have you here. I hope I said that right. Good to have you here. Yeah, there's no safe place nowhere anymore. There's not. Like I said, right now the thieves down here are having a heyday because all the people running from this hurricane, they're breaking in them. You're welcome. You're welcome, Jules. Jewel Eves. Yeah, I will. I just plan on working my way out, you know, because like I said, I live so far in the woods. It's a good little drive to go anywhere. You're right. You can't even tell people where you live anymore. That's how bad it is. But the crooks are making a lot of money tonight because they're breaking in a lot of these houses. All these people running hid from this hurricane. There's no way I'm leaving my place. I'm safe anyhow, but I wouldn't leave it even if I wasn't. No way. You'd come back to nothing. Hell, you'd be lucky they didn't take your dog. Let me ask you a question, AP. Can you see a difference between the attitude of people before the jab and now? Yes. Yes, I can. Now, I don't know if I don't know, but I know when all the shutdowns and all the arm tickets and after all that, people are losing their damn minds. So it could be that. It could be. Yeah, you're right, TC. Yeah, looting is going to be bad. I'm trying to read your comments the best I can. That's why I do just random lives, so I don't have so many people on here that I can't read the comments. But yeah, looting will be bad. What kind of exact differences do you notice? I see. People are just that quick. From hey, how you doing to trying to kill me that quick. People are just snapping so quick over the least little things that normally they'd be like, oh, it's okay. They're like, I'm gonna kill you. I mean, people are really snapping, man. I don't know if it's the financial. I don't know if it's the jab. I don't know. I think it's a combination of something. I don't. Yeah, no self control. They have absolute. People have no self control anymore. None. That's why the security business has gotten so dangerous. Because people have absolutely no self control anymore at all. You know, I have my theories. Yeah, you're right, EMT. Yeah, T6, you're right. LG, yes, I agree. There is no self control and so angry. Yeah, you're right. People are so angry. They got no self control. It's just getting out of hand. It like I said, to be a security, just to be a bouncer, it's like every night somebody's trying to kill me. When usually it was just maybe once a week. Now it's every single night that I was going to work. I was having a fight. I mean, every night. When used to it was once a week, every night over the stupidest thing. Yeah, some people don't even know why they're angry. I don't know. I just know that it's getting bad. Yeah, And I do use I use a lot of mace. That's another thing. I didn't even include that in. I go through a damn can of mace every night, and that stuff's expensive, man. And my job, where I was balancing at, I told him, I said, look, man, you guys got to start paying me more for the gas. I'm going through a can of mace every night, but no, they would not. They wouldn't pay me a penny more. And so I was like, well, if y'all guys can't give me a $5 raise, then I just can't do it. I'm spending more money than I was making. And, Little Miss Prepper sewed me up all the time. She was just getting tired of it. Yeah, it's getting hard to see. I call it's getting hard to de-escalate situations in security. I call it verbal judo. Because as a bouncer, it's your job to prevent the fight. Yeah, people's even reacting differently. It's not but I learned a long time ago, you cannot conquer an irrational person with rationality. So, of course, I'd have my meth heads I'd have to deal with, and this and that and the other. Yeah, I could make my own, but, having it pump spray it instead of aerosol and all. But, yeah, you can make your own, but you got to put it in like a pump sprayer. It don't work as good as an aerosol. I've thought about even making my own and putting it in a damn super soaker. You just hose them down with that shit. Really? I've thought about that. Make my own pepper spray and putting it in a super soaker and just hose them down with it. But, as bad as things are getting, it's just, I go out there and get killed, what's my wife going to do? Yeah. Yeah, put it in a super soaker, man. Make your own and put it in a super soaker and hose their ass down with it. Yeah, a super soaker. Make my own and just get a big ass super soaker and hose them down with it. I would like to do that just for the hell of it, really. Somebody being a real asshole instead of me using my mace, just pulling out a super soaker and soaking their ass down with some homemade cayenne pepper spray. That would actually be fun, to be honest with you. That almost got me wanting to go back to work just to try that. But like I said, I'm just not making no money doing that. Yeah. Them super soakers hold a pressurized water fire extinguisher. That would work. Yeah, they make mini ones too. They do. I've really thought about that. I have thought about that. I have. Because used to in the balancing world, you really didn't have to mix it up as much. But now it's every single night. All right, LJ. Well, I'm glad to have you here. And again, thank you for helping me out. I appreciate you. You have a good night. Yeah, that sounds fun. Super soaking the hell out of somebody with your own homemade pepper spray. Thank you. Thank you, LG. I appreciate you. I really do. You have a good night. But yeah, I'm just doing this late night. Oh hell, I've been on here for an hour. Wow. All right, well, I appreciate all y'all. And I try not to let it go over an hour. And if you could, go to my playlist and watch them playlists. And if you let the commercials play, that helps the channel out a little bit. Hell, you can just hit the playlist and throw your phone down, or hit the playlist and let them roll on the computer. If you let the commercials play through, that helps the channel out a little bit. I appreciate that. Yeah. All right. Well, I try to keep it around an hour. So I appreciate y'all joining in. Yeah. I appreciate all y'all. I appreciate y'all for joining in. And like I said, I try to keep it around an hour. So y'all have a good night. You're right. PAEMT. Spiritual, physical, psychological preparedness. Head on a swivel. Be safe out there. I appreciate y'all too. Y'all have a good night. Thank y'all for joining in. Y'all have a blessed night.